An Indian boy meets 5 Arab girls in a Dubai park. And then what happened? This is the story of those 5 Arab girls who fall in love with an Indian boy. They call him to their house under the pretext of work, and then a game begins that touches everyone's heart, that blows everyone's senses away. In the deep silence of the night, the small village named Fulnagar was quiet. Manoj was an ordinary Indian boy. He was in bed with his wife Annika. Holding Annika's hand, he said in a trembling voice, "Annika, I'm going abroad tomorrow morning. This is our last night. Today, I want to look at you to my heart's content." Manoj had got a job in a big company in Saudi Arabia, which could change his life. At the airport, his poor father and mother had come to bid him farewell. Manoj touched his father's feet in respect and, crying, hugged his mother tightly before entering the airport. As soon as he landed at the Saudi Arabia airport, hot air surrounded Manoj. He waited for the company's car. After a while, a shiny black car stopped in front of him. The door opened and an Arab girl stepped out. She was wearing a burqa and niqab, only her deep black eyes were shining. She came closer and said softly, "Sir, come. I've come to pick you up." Manoj's heart skipped a beat. Fearfully, he sat in the car. On the way, he asked the girl, "Why did you come to pick me up? Aren't there any men in the company?" The girl smiled, held his hand, and said in Arabic, "There are no men in our company. Only women work here. Don't worry. You'll be happy." Manoj got nervous and jerked his hand away. He didn't understand Arabic. He just nodded without knowing. Suspicion was rising in his mind. After some time, the car stopped in front of a beautiful house in a secluded hilly area far from the city, standing alone like a mystery. Manoj said in surprise, "This isn't a company, it's a house." The Arab girl took him inside. The house was so silent that the sound of heartbeat could be heard. She took him to a bedroom and gestured, "Sleep here. We'll talk in the morning." Manoj lay on the bed, lost in worry. Annika's face kept circling in his mind. That's where sleep came to him. In the morning, sunlight spread in the room. As Manoj opened his eyes, his heart started pounding hard. On the floor beside the bed lay the black burqa that the girl had worn the night before. His eyes widened in shock. A cold wave of fear passed through his heart. He quickly got out of bed and moved toward the door. But as he turned the handle, his feet seemed stuck to the floor. Outside the door, on the balcony, 4 black burqas were arranged, as if some secret line had been drawn. His head spun. Suddenly, the door opened, and 5 Arab girls, dressed in Arabic clothes from head to toe, entered one by one. Their faces were bright like fairies. One girl held a large silver tray full of black grapes. The girls came to Manoj, held his hands, and took him back inside. They made him sit on the bed and sat in a circle around him. One girl said, "He's mine." Another said, "No, I'll have him." When the third one gently touched his hand, Manoj's heart trembled with fear. The girls started picking grapes from the tray and feeding him. There was mischief and mystery in their eyes. Their hands touched Manoj's face. With every touch, his fear grew. But one girl sat quietly at a distance. Manoj suddenly sat up in shock. His breathing was fast. He ran out of the room. The laughter of the girls echoed behind him. The girls chased him, laughing, as if playing some strange game. Manoj entered his room, slammed the door shut, and locked it from inside. His breathing was heavy, but one question still lingered in his mind: what do these girls want? Manoj's heart was pounding hard. The girls were banging on the door loudly outside, but suddenly silence fell. Then a deep male voice was heard. "Open the door, Manoj. I am your owner. I've come to explain your work." Manoj's heart stopped for a moment. Hesitantly, he opened the door. Outside stood a tall Arab sheik. His white clothes shone like moonlight. The sheik looked at Manoj with deep eyes and said, "These 5 girls are my daughters. They didn't bother you, did they?" "Then seriously," he said, "Manoj, your job is to take care of these 5 girls. You have to obey everything they say. Fulfill their wishes." He said sternly, "I'll give you 5,000 riyals, but if I see worry on any of my daughter's face, I'll throw you to the dogs." The sheik said he stays out most of the time for business, and salary would be paid monthly. Manoj's heart sank in Annika's memory. He loved Annika deeply, and now among these girls he felt guilty. But his parents' poverty and Annika's desires forced him. He bowed his head and said, "Okay, I'll do whatever you say now." Manager's job was to serve these girls. One girl called, "Manoj, come here. Massage my head." Another said, "Manoj, come to my room. Relieve my tiredness." The third ordered, "Massage my feet." Manoj's whole day passed in keeping these girls happy. But among the 5, one girl always stayed silent. She didn't give him any task. She just sat far away and looked at him with deep eyes, as if some heavy secret was hidden in her heart. Her silence made Manoj restless, as if she wasn't happy with all this. Soft morning light spread in the large hall of the house. The 5 Arab girls sat on the sofa in beautiful silk clothes. Their eyes sparkled with mischief. Manoj sat on the floor near them, pouring grape juice into glasses. One girl held his hand and pulled him hard to sit beside her on the sofa. The second put her hand on his shoulder. Her soft fingers touched his body. The third held the juice glass near Manoj's mouth. There was an intoxicating fragrance in her breath. Manoj got scared and said, "Don't do this. I love my wife Annika very much." He raised his voice. "Who are you all? What's happening here? I don't understand anything. I left home for hard work. I don't want this kind of job. I want to leave from here." The girls laughed. One said, "You're so foolish. So many beautiful girls are with you, and you still remember your wife." Another laughed and said, "Now we are your wives." Forget Annika. She got up from the sofa laughing and started dancing in Arabic style. She was swaying in intoxication. But the 5th girl, who always stayed silent and looked at Manoj deeply, was not present there. Manoj's heart sank. He ran through the girls to his room, closed the door, fell on the bed and started crying. His heart was aching for Annika. He thought he had fallen into some danger. Deep night silence covered the house. Manoj was lying in his room, lost in Annika's memory. His heart was full of pain. Suddenly, girls' laughter and a deep male voice came from outside, breaking the night's silence. Manoj startled. He slowly opened his room door and peeked out. His heart was pounding fast. The sound was coming from the girls' room at the end of the hall. He slowly moved along the wall toward it. His fear grew with every step. Reaching the door, he slowly opened it a bit and peeked inside. The room was glowing in dim candlelight. The sight he saw, he couldn't believe his eyes. It was like a shock. That Arab sheik, who called himself his owner, was reclining on the bed among the girls. The 5 girls were sitting around him. The sheik claimed them as his daughters. But the room was colorful, and the mischief in the girls' eyes told a different story. The sheik's hands were wrongly placed on the girls. His touch was bad, and his intention dirty. Manoj listened carefully. The sheik whispered to the girls, "Don't worry. Tomorrow I'll send a gift for you that will quench your thirst, that will fulfill your wishes." Lowering his voice, he said, "But remember, my real prey is that boy. Trap Manoj in your manners and prepare him for me." Manoj's heart pounded hard. He trembled with fear. He stepped back, but a light sound came from his foot. The sheik and girls startled. The sheik angrily looked out, but no one was there. Manoj ran to his room and lay down. Next morning, a shiny big black car stopped outside the house. A strong-built man got out and entered the house. He was tall with a serious face. 4 girls jumped with joy seeing him, as if this was the gift the sheik had sent for them. They laughed with him, danced in Arabic tune, and took him toward their room. But the most surprising thing was that the 5th girl, who always stayed silent and looked at Manoj deeply, was not in this group. Manoj's head was spinning. He thought some dirty game was going on in this house. Some trap was being woven. But suddenly, there was a light knock on his door. He opened it. The silent girl was standing there. Her eyes were wet with tears. She suddenly held Manoj's hand and pulled him to her room, then closed the door and started crying. Manoj asked nervously, "What happened? Why are you crying?" The girl said in a trembling voice, "Manoj, you are very innocent. You don't know what big danger you've fallen into." Manoj insisted, "Tell me clearly, what's the matter?" She bowed her head and said, "My name is Gutcha. This is not a company. This is a brothel running dirty business." She revealed that Manoj was called with job lure so the girls could bring him into friendship, make videos with hidden cameras to blackmail him, then call his wife Annika here and force her into the dirty business. Gutcha said the sheik is a wicked man. He has kept her father chained in the basement of this house. She revealed that she is the real owner of this house, and these 4 girls are bought by the sheik. Gutcha said, "If you help me free my father, we both can escape this trap." She told Manoj, "Go back to your room now. At night, I'll tell you the next plan." Manoj returned to his room. His heart was full of fear and new hope. When complete silence fell in the house at night, Gutcha quietly entered Manoj's room and took him to the basement. The basement was drowned in deep darkness, like a graveyard. Gutcha turned on her mobile light. A man was seen in the corner, chained, covered in dust and dirt, lying down. When light fell on his face, he screamed in fear. Gutcha went forward and said, "Father, it's me, your daughter Gutcha. I've come to free you." Manoj cut his chains with a big iron cutter and freed him, taking him to his room. Next morning, when the sheik entered the house, the 4 girls mischievously complained, "Manoj doesn't fulfill our wishes. He bothers us." The sheik went forward with angry mind. A white sheet was on Manoj's bed. He pulled the sheet angrily. Under it was Suleiman bin Kasimba, real owner of the house, lying. The sheik lost his senses. The ground slipped from under his feet. From behind the door, Manoj and Gutcha came forward. Suleiman shouted in anger, "You wicked man! You cheated me in business, kept me captive in the basement, and forced my daughter into dirty work." The sheik started running to escape, opening the door. But Saudi police were standing in the courtyard, whom Suleiman had called earlier. Police arrested the sheik on charges of fraud and running dirty business. Suleiman thanked Manoj and said, "Manoj, you are an honest man. I want you to marry my daughter Gutcha. I'll transfer all my property in your name." Manoj cried and said, "I love my parents and wife Annika very much. Just send me back to my village." Suleiman smiled and said, "As you wish." Next morning, Suleiman and Gutcha came to drop Manoj at the airport. Gutcha's eyes were full of tears. She said, "I'll never forget this favor, Manoj." Suleiman hugged Manoj and said, "Stay happy always, son." When Manoj landed at his country's airport, his heart was heavy. He thought village people would mock him for returning empty-handed. Suddenly, a message sounded on his phone. He opened it. His bank account had 5 lakh rials deposited. Another message from Gutcha: "Manoj, I can't repay your honesty. This is a small gift from me for you and your family." Manoj's eyes filled with tears, but his heart filled with peace that he had returned, winning with his love and honesty. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more romantic stories like this. I'll see you again in another new video. Until then, take care, stay healthy, and stay safe. Wishing you all the best.